Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from AM 1250, 105.7 FM, The Fan in Milwaukee, host of the Wendy's Big Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 6. Of course, Gery Woelfel here at the Racine Journal-Times. Time to do a little Bucks basketball talk for the last time, probably until we get closer to the draft at the end of June.
Until they win the NBA title?
No.
You know, it's a 5-year plan. 5 years.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
So three more years
I
of this?
I can get down with that.
Okay.
I'd say 4 more years of this, 5 years. This was year 1.
No. He said it was a 5-year plan.
Right, this is year 1.
No. 5 years from the time he took it over. Okay.
Well, either way.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Oh, coming up. You're referring. Okay. Past
Right.
year.
All right.
Okay,
so
sorry.
let's go over a couple of different things here. You have been on record on our radio station of calling like this the worst season in Bucks history or whatever it is that you keep saying, which I guess is fine as far as, maybe they didn't live up to the expectations. I kind of debate that the Ray Allen, Anthony Mason, Glenn Robinson, Sam Cassell team may be the worst team in Bucks history, not living up to expectations. But
see, that's where perception comes into play because they didn't make the playoffs, and they should have been a title contender or pretty close to it, right?
they were in the Eastern Conference Finals the
the year
previous
before.
year.
Exactly, and I thought that they would get to the Eastern Conference Finals again, okay?
Right.
But if you remember, and people conveniently forget about this, they got ravaged by injuries the last 3-4 weeks. I mean, every one of their players they should have played, but they knew they were trying to make the playoffs, and they fell apart down the stretch. So, yes, that was very disappointing. This year's team
was ravaged by injuries.
The
entire bench was ravaged by injuries.
Excuse me, the entire bench.
They were.
and they start their...
Name me the bench player that wasn't hurt. Johnny O'Brien? Who else?
No,
seriously, who else?
You think bench
Bears
players...
was hurt? Vasquez was hurt? Everybody's been hurt.
Do you think
Mayo?
You think NBA teams in the playoffs are there because of their benches?
I think bench plays a big part of everything.
I think it's a small portion of what they get. Their main players...
Why were they so good last year? Why were they so good last year?
Because they had veteran experience.
Because their bench was outscoring other teams' benches night in, night out.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, too? They weren't very good after the trade. That's the problem.
Well, MCW came in. I understand that. I get that.
I forgot.
They were 7 under after the trade.
Exactly, and I tweeted this out yesterday. Since that trade, they're like 33 games or 23 games under 500.
Yep.
How can anybody say this team's making progress?
Well, again,
you got 2 players that are making progress.
Again, you always yell at me for being too black and white.
Yes.
But that's where you're at right now, is being too black and white, because you're focused on the wins and the losses, which is fine, and I get down with that.
I'm not.
But if you look at the progress that Giannis made this year, especially in the second half, after they were forced to give him the keys to the car because MCW was hurt, and Jason Kidd does it, big time. Nobody saw that coming. Then Jabari Parker in the second half finally looked like he deserved to be the number 2 pick for the first time.
Let me be the devil's advocate on the Greek freak going to the point guard.
Okay,
Mayo is out, right?
Mayo hardly ever played.
Well, he played about 20 minutes a game, okay?
No, I'm saying in general.
And he was playing the point before he got hurt.
Which he didn't belong.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's not.
So let me ask you this. If the Freak wasn't going to play the point, who was?
That's my point. They had nobody else.
Yeah, so all of a sudden Jason Kidd looks like...
Well, Tyler Ennis could have played the point. Tyler Ennis was healthy.
He went, right.
Tyler Ennis would have been the guy.
Right.
But Giannis had been working on this point guard thing since, Summer League. And then still he looked horrible doing it. And they've been working with him at practice, trying to get him ready to play. So he ran him out there, and he became this triple-doubles guy. All I'm saying is...
And how did the team do?
Oh, they still weren't winning.
They still
at a high level.
Exactly.
Sure, right.
So, that's what you look at, the team, not an individual. There's been a lot of great individuals in the NBA over the years that haven't done anything with their team.
Okay, but let me explain something to you. If Giannis doesn't improve, I don't give a damn what you have around him, you're going to suck. If Jabari doesn't end up playing like a number 2 overall pick in the draft, which hopefully one day he will, you're not going to win an NBA championship.
I agree.
So if those individuals don't improve at some point in their career, I don't care if Jared Dudley's on this team. I don't care if Zaza's on this team. You're screwed. It's about winning championships, and you need Giannis and Parker to be the guys. And for the first time in the second half of this year, both look like they have the potential to be the guys on this basketball team. And to me, that is what I'm happy about going into next year.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But as a team, they did not get better. George Gervin, great player, right?
Sure.
What does teams ever do?
No, that's true.
You can go down the line. There's a laundry list of guys that have had good teams, and they never produced, never got to an NBA title. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see, and we'll see about that going forward. Now, as we move.
Now, wait a second. Now, one other thing. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm trying to be nice here.
That's all right.
If they would have got rid of Kidd, would you have preferred Mark Jackson as a coach?
No. I don't want to get rid of Jason Kidd.
Mark Jackson won 40.
I want nothing to do with Mark Jackson.
God. This guy.
Want nothing to do with Mark Jackson.
We'll save this for some other time.
I don't. Anyways, okay. Do you know what Mark Jackson is?
No, tell me what you love about Kidd, that you have been in his corner.
From the word go.
Yeah.
Because he's a great mind. He gets it.
What does he get?
I'm going to explain this to you. And I know you've been against every head coach here forever.
Oh, that is not true at all.
Who have you liked?
I liked a lot of them.
Who?
I love George. Absolutely.
Well, everybody. Not everybody likes George Karl. Everybody likes George Karl.
Hey, excuse me. I was the guy that was on Terry Stotts' bandwagon, and I knew he was going to have a problem. Yeah. Terry Stotts.
Never should have been hired.
Are you kidding me?
Never should have been hired.
You talk about a basketball mind. He might have one of the best basketball minds in the NBA.
Well, that's great. It worked out in Milwaukee.
You see what he did in Portland this year?
Sure. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He had one starter back from last year. The point was, when he took over that Milwaukee Bucks team,
he never should have.
Exactly. He should have just said, "Hey, I'm going to go somewhere else."
Yep.
But the point is, I liked him.
But his boy Herb.
I like Kristoviak. I had no problem with Larry Drew. I thought Larry Drew got the shaft because they brought in Kidd. They didn't give him a second chance.
All three of these guys, I don't like any of them. Of all three,
well, you accused me of not liking any of them.
Drew,
now you said you don't like them.
Well, no, but I mean, Drew never got a fair shot. So to that point, I'm not even going to judge Larry Drew because I don't know what he is. I know in Atlanta he got teams to overachieve.
And I was a big fan of Don Nelson, obviously, when he coached. So.
Right. Now,
I have no problem.
As far as Mark Jackson goes,
I just don't think Jason Kidd can coach.
As far as Mark Jackson goes, he's a motivator. That's what he is. That's all he is. There's nothing more to Mark Jackson.
But you see
he can motivate and cheer and rah-rah guys in huddles, then everybody else on his staff has to do the rest of it.
That's where you bring a brilliant X and O's guy in, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
And you know what? And I think he's a good X and O's guy now.
You can't debate Golden State taking a step after Mark Jackson.
No doubt about it, but he set the table.
And that was with a guy, Steve Kerr, that had no experience doing what he's doing.
Correct.
And they just figured it out.
He set the table for that team, though. Okay, let me ask you this. How many wins do you think Mark Jackson had in his last 2 years with Golden State?
I have no idea. 40 combined?
No, just one. The last 2
per
years.
season?
Yeah, like
30, 48. 47, 48.
47 and 51.
Something like that, yep.
Are you telling me that the Bucks wouldn't go gaga if
well, why
could
did
get
they
47?
Fire him?
Who knows?
Yes, you do. You know. Don't lie to me. You do know.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No,
there's a reason he got fired, and there's a reason nobody else has hired him.
Yeah.
LeBron wanted him in Cleveland, and the general manager heard way too many stories about Mark Jackson, wanted nothing to do with him. There's a reason the man's not a head coach in the NBA.
You know what? But the bottom line, this is professional sports. It's not high school or college. The bottom line is wins and losses.
But it's not in this league.
It is in the NBA. It's all about wins and losses.
Tell you right. If it was, he'd have a job. He'd have a job by now.
I would imagine he'll have one this summer.
I don't think he will.
Okay, Hubie Burger.
So Jason Kidd, get back to Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if he has a job. By all indications, he's going to have a job, in my opinion. You tend to disagree. You think he might be out of a job.
What? No, I don't anymore because they came out. Lazary came out. Let me say, not they. Lazary came out.
Right.
And really endorsed him, at the press conference saying, Jason is
So what?
Yeah.
Everybody thought Larry Drew was staying. He was out hiring another coach beyond Larry Drew back. What does that mean?
Can you imagine the heat they'll take if they get rid of Jason Kidd now?
It depends who they hire. Well, listen to me. George Karl is out there, your boy.
He's not coming. They're not
coming. Thibodeau is out there.
That would be my boy.
Okay? Both those two guys are out there.
Yeah.
Now, George would bring heat because there's a lot of people in Milwaukee still bitter about how the Big Three ended. So they might be upset if they hired George. There's a big fan base that loves George, though, in Milwaukee, too. So that's split. If they hired Thibodeau, I still think it would be split because there's a lot of people that don't like Thibodeau because they think he runs players into the ground. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Okay, speaking of which, who was playing 44 minutes down the stretch?
Right, and those people that don't like Thibodeau, because of that, were all over Jason Kidd in the second half of the year for doing it.
That's definitely fair then.
Yeah, they were upset at Kidd going, what are you doing? Season's over. Why are you doing this?
You know what the highlight of my season, though, was? And there were many, many lowlights, okay? But this is tops them all. The Bucks have one game to play in the season, okay? One game. And Kidd said, you know what? We're going to rest Greg Monroe for one game.
You know what? They look so awful.
What? You get it?
Yeah, I do. They looked so awful in the first half of that game.
Yeah.
Monroe, he looked like he was just kind of jogging up and down the court.
He wish he was in New Orleans. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And kids like, screw this. I'm not watching you anymore. Look, it was fan appreciation night. It was the last game of the year. But then they wanted to go out some effort. So Middleton and Monroe both kind of just watched in the second half. And Giannis and Jabari went out there and got him back in the game to within 6. And then he pulled them once it was a game again. I guarantee you, that's all it was. If they didn't care about the game, Giannis and Jabari wouldn't have played.
Does Kid have a clause in this contract that it's imperative to lose the final game of this regular season?
Why?
Like last year, remember how they could have won, but he rested?
That was the right move.
That I can somewhat accept, okay? Why would you not play Giannis or Jabari? I mean, you've been playing these guys 40-some minutes all along. The last game, it's a send-off game for the fans, Bucks Nation, saying, hey, you know what? If we win this game, we got something positive. We see some good things. Giannis, Jabari.
No, I disagree.
Oh, and he doesn't play these guys?
No, I disagree that a win changes anything as far as what the fans feel like going into. No fan is going to think, oh, boy, they won the last game against the Pacers. Here we go next year.
Yeah, I disagree.
No fan thinks that.
Oh, I disagree. They go off in a positive mood. Right now, the last 3 or 4 games, they were just god-awful. God-awful. That's not the message you want to send your fan base.
Well, I think...
Other than that, great job by the coaches here.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out what happens going into the offseason. Are you still rolling with John Hammond not being back?
Yeah, I'm leaning. I mean, I am not saying... In fact, in that article, I never, ever said either one was going to go. I said it was possible. I think Hammond will go, but... and I still do. So
he's Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky. Fifer, thanks for checking me out, Sports Junkies, here at RacinSportsZone.com.